In this video, we're gonna cover the sound of Dark Souls 1 in respect to the movement of the armory. I'm a professional Foley artist. I'm not a Dark Souls player. I'm not a veteran, so please bear with me. And if I do any mistakes about the game, correct me in the comments and I will make it up to you in the next video. This video should show everyone who's interested in Foley and video games how I think about armory movement, and we make an actionable example on Dark Souls 1 because this game is exceptional. With the armory sounds you can spot enemies and you can use it as a survival tool, and it's not just a sound effect that gives you more immersion. So let's dive into the sound of Dark Souls 1. We're gonna record some armory movements, and all the sounds we record you can download. Link is in the description for free. Let's go. What is Dark Souls? Dark Souls is an adventure RPG from Software from 2011. Audio led by audio director Yuji Takenouchi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Forgive me if I didn't. He led the franchise until Dark Souls 2 and then left. And in this game, you are situated in a medieval dystopia and you fight undead enemies. And it's an amazing thing that you can decide whether you are being armored very lightly or medium armor or heavy armor, and that also changes the way you play the game. So with light armor you can be very quick in paroling and you have this fast roll that you can make, but you have almost no protection and you die very quickly, whereas when you are very heavily armored you can get a lot of hits, but your fast roll turns into a so-called fat roll, and that is very clunky and you're so slow when you move like that. This game also has almost no music playing while you are in the normal world, and there's sometimes a little bit of ambience music, but the main music plays when you fight the bosses. So you have a lot of audio playing back that helps you navigating that game, and the armory sounds is essential because you are either spotted quicker or you can spot enemies quicker. Having said that, let's now record a couple of different versions. A light version, a medium version, and a heavy armor version of the player moving around the game with a little bit of fighting involved. And you can download those sounds. Link is in the description. Let's go. For the light armory, I decided to come up with this belt kind of thing. It's all cosplay, so that's where you have to look for this stuff. And I'm gonna cover it a little bit as the player almost seems to have no armory mounted. And a little bit of leather and normal cloth combined. I felt I got a bit out of control with this, but I could kind of handle it. In the beginning there was a little clicking that I tried to just get out of the way. I managed that. I feel like the impacts and the sounds are nice, and you have to understand I repeat this because we need the variations for the game. So now let's check the medium-sized armor. For the medium armory, let's use this hand glove, and I have a little chain vest here, all covered in cloth so that I can control the transients better. Let's go. That was more difficult to handle. I tried to get the right amount of rattling from the glove and the right amount of texture from the rest. At one point almost lost the chain piece here. That was then like fixed in 1 second. But yeah, that's how you have to operate props. Always make sure that you can maintain and sustain the proper sound, and once you have it, you can then start to make the right iterations. Let's dive into heavy armory. The 4 main things we have learned from this video, and a pro tip at the end. First, understand the game. Not only the systems, but also the story. And then when you go on specific sounds like armory, understand the usage of it in the game and what role does it play. So it's always about telling the story and not only about the sound. Second, if you want those items to make great armory sounds, I advise and like the most those cosplay elements that I'm having here on my hand, and the other tools that I used are all cosplay elements that people sold on eBay. Easiest way to find them, also the cheapest. Third, if you perform on a prop or cloth, you have to understand that it takes a while to find the right sound. But then it's important when you perform it actually after you found it, you have to be able to sustain the sound. And when everything falls apart once you hit record, that's wrong and that's a problem. So always look for the right sound first, having in mind that you need to be able to persist with this sound over a take. Fourth, you have to be aware that it takes time to find the right sound, and you have to calculate that in when you sell or pitch or quote to a game developer. You cannot just say, yeah, it takes me 10 minutes to record this, and then you make the math for all the assets. Always think that it takes some time, and you can see this in my video, what I came up with in a very short amount of time with my experience was also not the final result I would deliver to a game developer. So I would take way more time, especially when it's such an important sound in the game. The pro tip at the end, when you are performing your sounds and you realize within the take it's not actually how you planned, try to iterate and manipulate the things in your favor, like that you get the result that you're looking for while you perform. If it's a longer take, then maybe the beginning is not as you want, but you can then elevate throughout the take, and that is something you also have to just do over and over again and become better at. For the heavy machinery, I decided for this setup, that is my base layer for the body. Then I have this mechanical clunk that I can operate, and the leather in between is also to dampen a little bit the metal impacts. And I have also leather here. Finally, we heard this iconic sound of "You Died." Everyone who's playing this game, I hope I did it some justice. For the ones who are here for the Foley, what can we learn from that performance? I lost one piece that my intern Theo told me that I should put inside, and I listened to him. Now I lost it. It's not his fault, it's my own decision. So you have to be able to control your setup, and then you have to also understand what I just did now. maybe it is nice here and there, but if I have to deliver this for a proper game developer, I would go overall more takes than that, deliver the right sound and perform as long as I'm really 100% sure that this is the exact sound I want. And then I go over and over and record as long as I need to have the certain variations that are asked from me. So this is just a rough thing that I did. You can download those sounds and make use of them in whatever way you want. Link is in the description. I hope you could learn something from that video. If you want to go deeper in Foley performance and learn this yourself and do this yourself, or you're already doing it and want to go pro on it, then consider joining the Foley Guild, because that is basically the only real mentoring community where you can learn on the job. You can see my daily work in there. You can upload your daily work and you get feedback from me, and you meet like-minded people that are also passionate about sound design and Foley. Having said that, enjoy one of the next videos. We made a couple of other videos, like one about PUBG, one about Arc Raiders, if you're interested in that. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Peace, the Foley teacher.